Good morning, friends. Come in. Have we not even turned on no, the monitor screen is on. Come on in. We're going to do a collective check-in. Happy Monday. Ooh, y'all ain't even going to play like I'm so tired today. Goodness gracious, y'all. This energy is something else. It's just so intense. We're on the boat, you know what I'm saying? I'm on a boat. If you know, you know. We're on a boat, and it's like this is the most tried and tested. Is It's about maturity. It's about, can you really hanker? I was trying to say anchor down, hang on to, anchor down into the embodiment of the frequency it's coming through. Like, we've worked so hard to get to this frequency that we are, which is different individually, and it also has similarities on a collective level. We're gonna see how we do, you guys, because you know what? Look, we just all be going through it. It's just intense. It's intense collectively, but we are in Mercury retrograde, which is opening in Sagittarius energy. And we have Uranus back in Taurus. Uranus not going to be back in Taurus for a long time, you guys, and it feels like, oh no, I'm seeing I'm seeing a labyrinth. Let me pull up today's chart too. I'm seeing a labyrinth. And what that makes me consider is how we always talk about in wisdom teachings and self-awareness healing journeys, we talk about it's a spiral. It's not a straight line. Such as the quantum, such as everything in truth, Spirit is saying. Linear time just kind of helps us out in this human earth school, in this incarnation. I am going to tell you though, guys, like I have a bunch of things that are supposed to deliver today. They're doing some kind of outside inspect. I don't know. Things are going on. So if I have to pause the video or something is like that unexpectedly, just know that's why. um, but yeah, how are you guys feeling in Mercury retrograde? I do want to say this. Shoot, like how do we, the thing about, I feel the Mercury retrograde energy is, number one, let me tell you, we can always anchor down and understand a deeper truth, and that we don't, like, have to go doom and gloom with everything. We do want to be aware. I'm not promoting any kind of bypassing, right? We don't ever need to just stick our hands in the sand. Okay, I feel you. Taurus is like, go on ahead and put your hands on the dirt. Ooh, you know how I feel. My Northern Taurus. One thing I'm about to do is I will go find a tree. Like, did we shower cry? Yes. But we also reclaimed our alignment, and we went out and we touched a tree. We took a walk. We visited nature. Um, maybe it is, Uranus returning to that Taurian frequency, that Venusian frequency, that organic, let's reach for that higher tier of the 5D earth grid that wants to come down in phases and meet us. You know what I'm saying? Grounding out fears, I think, is going to be really important. But what I'm saying ultimately is like Mercury retrograde, first and foremost, in my experience. And you here hanging out with me. Welcome if you're new. Hi. Just a quick blurb. I don't really monetize this space. I do have an astrology practice where I help people learn about their natal charts. We flow through the wheel of the year. We flow through the seasons. We move with the planets here. And we just chilling, soul family. I'm adamant that we all need to tap in and get connected with each other in the age of Aquarius. Is group work. It's community work. It's power to the people, and so it's not one thing saves all. That is never going to come back. And I hope you trust me and understand in the truth of long-term sustainability. And I said in the truth of, that's some Sagittarius statement right there, ain't it? In that truth, it's good. It's good that we connect. I don't have anything. Hey, some people are aiming for monetization. I just like to let you know. I'm generally just, if you receive something here, if there's energetic confirmation for you here and you click like, that's great. It just helps you kind of tap in with the gang over here. You know, I have an Aquarius stellium, is very Aquarius over here. Very Aquarian. Shout out. Age of Aquarius, right? Pluto and Aquarius. Woo! Goodness gracious, I feel like Odin's just out there in Yggdrasil and he's just watching. Like he's got a pipe or something. He's sending crows in and out. He's sending his ravens. He's just watching us as this collective energy. This I think the depth of the scorpionic frequencies really took us down deep, and really before we you gotta just we have to, it's like a vessel. So funny, Aquarius, isn't it? A vessel has to be washed out. This makes me think about how I was bottling and just doing all kind of like stuff that I do when I craft elderberry syrups and get into late fall and winter medicinals and plants. And just this, it makes me think of the steps of, if you only knew how many times these jars had to be washed and this had to be da 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 da, because you're preparing to put such a good, well alchemized, powerful elixir in a brand new vessel and a container. You feel what I'm saying? So, this void portal work, I will say once again that we return to, is so important. So, Mercury retrograde to me is so powerful, especially the latter retrogrades. Sometimes we have two, sometimes we have three. It depends on how that aligns up with our Gregorian calendar system. But the later retrogrades to me are always so deeply reflective. And whereas I always do get that cocoon feeling, and Mercury retrogrades to me, it's like all hands on deck, all archangels, all soul spirit guides, Davic nature spirits, all your spirit gang, right? In alignment with your team and higher self. They kind of all huddle round. You know what I mean? It's like you're in the middle and it's huddle, huddle, huddle. Let's cleanse and clean and let's sometimes you can, especially Mercury and Sag, reaching out for that higher frequency of the galactic center. When we have a Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, it feels like a bubble of like buzzing galactic mutable. It's almost like something is scanning your body, is scanning your mind. I feel Sagittarius is mutable fire. And Uranus is in Taurus. That's those big movements shifted together. And so Sun is still in Scorpio, of course. But focusing on the Mercury retrograde here is going to be going on until, what is it? I think like the 18th is when it's going to shift from Sag to Scorpio. And then Mercury will complete retrograde by the end of November. It's like the 29th, I think. So it's really scrub it out, scrub it out, scrub it out. Let the Sagittarius, you know how I feel. It's very much mutable fire. It's very much, so funny. I was talking about Odin because I always talk about Sag energy is like a bridge of fire, if you will. It's not fixed. It's not cardinal. And it's like this spiritual, very like iridescent, very like opalescent. Because you think about like Temperance card and the androgynous energy. It might be a rainbow. It might be like pearlesque. But that's how I see it. It's like this shimmering iridescence that wants to move through your body and help with cleansing, help with realignment. And I think Mercurial is definitely going to be, from the crown down into the mental places, because Uranus ultimately does want us to get everything that we can glean from this Taurian season, if you will. Not going to happen again for a long time. It's a big wrap up of the nodal cycles that we did back in Taurus North Node, Scorpio South Node. So maybe you're even going back that far to kind of wrap up. Okay, we're cleaning up these mental pathways. We're really, there's something. Why is Spirit give me the word metastasize, but I'm seeing the brain? Child, did I type it right? I did. Okay. It wants to spread to other sites. Okay, please don't. I know you're going to think, oh no, don't think of it just as using the word. Something being in one part and then spreading to all other parts, right? Spirit has given me this word, metastasize, probably because I just finished doing a medical project on neoplasms. But listen, love and light, it could be a message about health. May all souls that collect here be blessed with good health and radical healing, and that is in service of their highest and best path. Okay, and so it is, because we're always asking for health, wealth, and abundance, self-awareness, realignment with your highest frequency. I wish all those good things, right? But what I'm saying here is, because that could have been a message from Spirit, take it as you will. You know what I'm saying? I always wish everyone to have love and light and healing, longevity, because health is wealth. Shoot, I mean, when we talking about currencies, don't get me started. Here we are. Uranus and Taurus may be bringing a message through here in Mercury retrograde and Sag to really understand your mental health, your emotional health. It could be for some that has trickled down and metastasized, spread throughout the body in ways that you have to understand you got to fucking take care of yourself, and that partners well with scorpionic work of saying something eating off. Spirit is showing me something eating off like a poison. That doesn't have to be physical. That can also be mental health, because if Uranus is partnering in Taurian frequency, and then you think, ultimately, then next year we're going to go, boom, we're really going to hit deep into the Uranus and Gemini. Ooh, child. It's going to be great. It's going to be exciting. But it's like we've got to be mentally prepared. We have to understand the places that we don't always look to see where our wealth really lies. And we need to understand how to really embody that. How when we are shaken out of alignment to come back into alignment again, the metaphor of a very strong tree, the Taurus, the oak, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it all comes back around, doesn't it? So there could be long-term like belief systems. You have to think of that with Sagittarian frequency. But here's what I want you to do, though. I want you to understand that all of these frequencies and energies and spiritual guides and teams, your higher self, all these things, they want to kind of run, what would you say? Run an interception. They're running interceptions for you across the board. And what it is that we need to do is just focus on slow down. Okay. And we put that in the place of all this Virgo energy we've been working with all year, your daily fucking tasks. How many people are you talking to? It's like, slow it all the way down, right? And just be observant, like the tree is just going to see anything. It ain't even really trying to see anything. It's just there. It's been there for a century in the middle of the garden, and there it will still be. And yet it just is, you know what I'm saying? It's not trying to blame. It's not trying to be validated by everything. It's not trying to be constantly and ridiculous. Spirit is saying ridiculously over-connected to everything. That's the vibe, right? And then I always tell people when we do, especially Mercury retrograde readings, understand that what is not reaching you to connect you, to speak with you, a contract that has not shown up and completed itself. You thought, damn, I really thought I was going to get that offer. I really thought. It's not about any of that, because your ancestors, your team and higher self, your spirit guide, galactic and earthbound, all of these things are working for your highest and best good. If you're not connecting to talk, if you haven't been offered to sign, if you understand it is a gift ultimately. That is the higher vibrational way of understanding how to work with Mercury retrograde. It's not being like, oh, what's coming to get me? You know what I mean? Who's going to be trying to talk to me? You know what? No. My energy is a source of wealth. And things that I do not connect with are for a higher reason. Things that I am connecting with that are really trying to teach me. Maybe I'm being super stubborn about that shadow fixed sign energy. Sagittarius is very mutable fire. It teaches, hey, you got to move forward. Hey, that belief, that's just not working out for you anymore. You are not aligned with this anymore. And it's kind of this whole letting go. And I almost see it as like a ribbon of Sagittarius energy. You're laying down, you're sleeping, you're resting, you're sitting, maybe you're meditating. I can't remember. I did a stint with this, gosh, what is it with the yoga practice? And what you do is you pick a pose that, oh shit, okay? You pick a pose that challenges you, and there's a name for it, and you hold the pose. Or it's like that breath work and different types of Kundalini yoga. There's so many. But it's like breath work. And you learn how to challenge yourself by the challenge of the hold. Isn't that ironic, though? Because at the same time, bigger challenges push us into a place where we have to release. But that's okay. I feel that Mercury retrograde beginning in Sag is going to offer us a lot of clarity. And I think that there's almost this background energy that Spirit is bringing through. Where do we want to go, Spirit? We're going to get a because, for me, Samhain and honoring the ancestors in November, I feel that this oracle is just super appropriate. Honestly, how I'm going to put the back, we need the book. Okay. It still is that quiet, Sagittarius frequency is very like, what am I hearing? It's very like, just let them, you know what I'm saying? It's also letting things go. There's so many opportunities to really just sit with like this energy of, why do I believe that? For example, maybe shout out to air signs, you could relate, but I don't know. It doesn't have to be. Why do I always try to go out my way to bridge that communication gap? Why do I always go out my way to say yes to these people? Or, you know what I'm saying? There's something about really protecting the abundance of your energy as well. There is such a bigger kind of picture going on. Again, while the oak tree in this Taurian frequency, because Uranus in Taurus is very present in this Mercury retrograde. This is how Spirit is having me feel it. You see, it's almost like looking at a tree. Remember we kept talking about the angel oaks? It's like, oh, you have no idea the breadth, the width, the depth, that it is the partnership of the earth and how strong that root system is. And then that root system is connecting to the mycelium. There's so much going on under the surface. And sometimes you don't have to, I'm getting this, it shouldn't be so hard. Maybe you're like, maybe you're saying Spirit is showing you, or your higher self, right? Saying your job, i.e. this should not be so hard. Okay. Trying to talk to this family member or plan these things and they're falling through. Look, but as a side note, Mercury retrograde in Sag, travel, adventure. We already know in our governmental system, because we're here in the U.S., look, travel going to be a cluster, November needs to be flexible. I'm going to tell you that right now. We 10 days in, and if you ain't synced it yet, I know you're going to see it. I know you're going to see, slow down, regroup, reflect. Maybe, it's not even a maybe, I'm going to tell you right now, and that's on me experiencing multiple decades of working with planetary energy, flowing through the wheel of the year, going through shit, you know what I mean? It's not working out because it's not supposed to. It's delayed because you're protected. There's no communication and no offer there because it was not for you. It shouldn't be so hard. I keep hearing it just like that. And you've had those conversations, girl, they said, what now? Y'all arguing about what now? Nuh-uh, it shouldn't be that hard. Why'd you have to fight so hard to get paid what you thought it shouldn't be that hard. It's giving that. It should not be this hard. Now the trick is, and what there could be messages, again, this is what am I in alignment with? What are my beliefs? What do I need to let go of? What is really robbing me of peace and having the ability to slow down in my daily routine? There's something too about like, what is really going on? What is true? And sometimes that's just about taking your hands off of everything and saying, you know what? Again, we turn to this energy of like, just let them. Just let it go. Just let it go, And in that place, we kind of, again, call our energy back to ourselves. And then we can sit and say, where am I growing? Is this still even my truth? And sometimes I'm be dead ass honest with you. And this is very Taurian. Sometimes we may be surprised, right? Uranus and Taurus, Mercury and Sag retrograde. Wow, I really didn't realize that was draining my alignment and my health and my mental peace. What is it? It's talking about things that just like killing you on your cortisol levels. You know what I mean? It's just, why am I being so rigid about keeping certain things in my life, people in my life, a type of career in my life? Sometimes I think what will catch us off guard at the ending of this year and in November as well. And Mercury and Sag wants us to stay high frequency with it. And I'm not talking about stay high vibe. No, that's not, sometimes it's not realistic. And we still are in a season of grief and Sun of Scorpio and letting things go. Really understanding what was a demon was actually a gatekeeper and I can release the power. We're still doing all that work. But in the present moment, you kind of come back and you say, damn, RIP, that's just not true for me no more. It shouldn't have been that hard. RIP, like this is just not, you know what? It's been a journey. And we just have to let this go. I really thought for multiple years I was going to go on this path, and this is just not how the higher timelines and the convergence of the new path is unfolding for me, and that's all right. That's all right. The rigidity of Taurus in a shadow way with Uranus moving back into Taurus, right? It's not going to serve us. But what will serve us is that beautiful simplicity that here, you know what, here is where I am. And actually, there's blessings here. And actually, it's simple. But then that flexibility of letting grief roll past you and just being on your boat and understanding the clouds and the emotions and the excess of thoughts, they're just clouds passing by. This wave will come in and it'll crash at the shore and then it'll go back out again. It's all right. It's all right. What is true now and what is not true for me now, and where am I at in the present? You know what I mean? And it's just that simple. Okay, and I actually think it's really beautiful, and it leans into a depth of just closing out old timelines. It really does. What is it? I was reading an article and I love the way it was said. I want to say I do read moon omens a lot, but I can't remember. Y'all, I'll just be reading. I have so many astrologers I like too, but somebody was talking about taking a step back, like really moves you forward. And so maybe that's a phrase that you kind of get into, right? When are we going to have Mercury opposing Uranus? I think we've already had one of those oppositions. And then I think right after Mercury goes from retrograding into Sag, I think it's like on the 19th. It's like the day after Mercury then switches over to the retrograde in Scorpio. And then that day, it opposes Uranus. So I think it's kind of interesting how they're going to dance together in this retrograde. Because it's just like, there's so many paths. It's something about like being open to the curious adventure of how it all is really going to unfold. You know what I'm saying? But you can't really do that if you are stuck in old karmic loops, if you're chasing things that don't serve you. That would be like, I thought I was going to get this job offer, so I keep blowing them up. And that's not the way to be moving. So then you push the job offer away because let's say Mercury retrograde comes in and you didn't know, maybe like the company had this whole issue unfold unexpectedly on their production floor. I don't know, let's say. But you didn't know that. So instead of just slowing down, accepting what is, understanding, I know the frequency of health, wealth, and abundance and, self-awareness, beauty, gratitude, simplicity. I know this is what I want for my life. So however it comes, I'm going to love that and be good with that. And I'm not going to fucking overcomplicate it. You know what I mean? This is giving like, this ain't the time we got enough mountains out here. We can't be taking molehills and growing new mountains. This is not the vibe. And if it's not resolving itself, let it be. Because you know what will happen in a scenario like that? It'll be crazy. It's like maybe you didn't know the HR lady was on maternity leave, and then dang, they were going to actually get back to you in 2 weeks because you were the prize candidate, but you pushed it, and then you turned them off completely, and they're like, ugh. You know what I mean? Or like you keep trying to reach out to someone from the past and your spirit team and ancestors and guides were heavily protecting you because you'd been manifesting protection. But you keep reaching around behind your back and your ass and elbow and then you get your hand smacked. Or you might accidentally pull a thread and bring a karmic cycle back in. You're like, fuck, man, why did I do? Don't. We trust. We just be. I love to tell people Mercury retrogrades are GPS systems from the universe of your higher self and your spirit team. And all of the beautiful, wonderful, not hijacked, right? Very organic, high frequency, very powerful magic of the earth. All this conspires to give you everything you're asking for. But you can't be like fighting you with your damn self. You know what I mean? That's like, it's tricky energy too right now because you'll have these days where this intensity of the deep will just pull you. And all you can do is just sit and be. But you have to, it would behoove you, I would say, to develop this intention to say, my intuition is going to tell me, you know what, I'm feeling X, Y, and Z today. I probably just need to journal that shit out and sit on it. And this is probably not a good place for me to be reactionary out of. And that's called wisdom. That's tough. And it takes you being able to be moving slow enough to be able to say, I need to pull back. You know what I'm saying? So I love this. I always encourage really good spiritual hygiene, like real good. In Mercury retrograde, you know, be doing your guided meditations, be doing your sound frequency healings. Those are great. Aquarian frequency, Sagittarian frequency, Mercurial, beautiful. Because I think, I don't know, Mercury, we'll tap back in and check in. I don't know why, but I can't, well, Mercury going into the deepness of Scorpio, it's hard to grasp. It's like a slippery, I see like an eel because it's like electric, but it's in deep waters and it's slippery. So it's almost like you kind of have to, okay, you know what I'm seeing? Y'all shout out if you know, what's the ride at Disney in the big ball? Why am I brain farting, y'all? Is it Space Mountain? Yeah, it's giving Space Mountain Mercury retrograde. Because at times you pop out and you're like, and it's bright. But you know, you go into the dark and you're like, I can't see, but I just gotta hold on. This is what it's giving. But the whole time, you are so well rooted because you've done the work to get here. So I like the energy. I think that you can actually call in some beautiful gifts and surprises, some interesting, curious ways that spirit is such a huge thing of step back. Okay, we on Space Mountain. You know you got your seatbelt on, honey. I'm not going to let you fly out nowhere. How many times we done been through Space Mountain, came out the other side. Woo, that was crazy. What a rush. Okay, you got you. The universe has got you. Your spirit team, your guides, what you be asking for all the time, it wants you. You want it. It's just we got to trust. You know what I'm saying? We do. It's okay right now to understand maybe I thought I was going to be in a certain line of thinking or a set of beliefs that were going to be rigid and fixed forever, and they're not. Hey, that's all right. It's a curious, adventurous journey the way that unfolds. Maybe I've been planning this trip since the first quarter of the year for the holidays, and you know what? Holy shit, I can't even book a flight, love and light. I know you better not push that. You better take that as a sign to sit down where you are and offer gratitude. And I know that's probably tough for people who live far away from loved ones and stuff. I get that. You know, I have family dispersed all over the place that I wish I really could get to and see more. You know, I understand that. Thank you, Spirit, so much. Thank you, ancestors, for that clear message of the card. But it's very much let it be, let it be. But then it's also this interesting combination, again, Space Mountain with it, right? You pop out, whoa, look at the stars, wow. And then maybe, boom, you collect a treasure nugget and you're like, okay, I'm here for that. I'll take that. Yeah. But then it's a little dark, but I know. I've been working on my lantern energy. I know I got light is in me. I'm going to be all right. Is the nature of any Mercury retrograde that something can be unexpected, but sometimes those unexpected things can actually be happening from within you. You understand what I'm saying? All right, so let's see what it is, the card that we have here. Wow, look at that. Divination. Take it. Okay, listen. Look, the Seasons of the Witch don't play. I know y'all know. It's so on point. Divination. Take a breath. Take it twice. Let's just, you know what? I'm hearing that again. Like, I almost forgot that this was the whole point, you know? I'm also seeing Meet the Robinsons. Keep moving forward. You remember that whole movie, and it was past and present and timelines and amalgamation and keep moving forward, and it was wild. You could hypothesize that he was his own spirit guide the entire movie, but he did not know it. Isn't that wild? Yeah, go watch that movie and then contemplate some things. I'm telling you what. Um, there's something that I'm getting that I'm feeling too. It's like very cozy. It's very like you are so protected. You're so guided. You know what I'm saying? Take a breath, take it twice. Insightful reflections are guided by light. See, I really feel called. I so want to do like readings for each of the elements. But I just don't. Look, y'all got so much packages to get together for all these beautiful creations from this event. And then, I went down to the ocean. So it's like, woo, we gotta do some catch up. We've had things going on here too. Shuffling, reorganizing. I don't know what happened, but over the last couple of days, I mean, I get it as far as the energy, but I've just been like cleaning out, organizing. Anyway, maybe Virgo year. You know how we do a lot of that in Virgo season, but this Virgo year is getting to a point where it's coming closer and closer to closing. So you may actually feel that Virgo fall cleaning sense of go with that. That's a great way to stay grounded, you know? Anytime that you were able to say, do I really need this stuff, which is tied to my energy. Uranus and Taurus might surprise you. You thought you needed to hold on to a lot of things and you let them go. It pairs well with the frequency, right? Guidance, reflection, and insight. Cards, tea leaves, coffee, clouds, candlelight, and flowers. This feels like, again, Spirit saying go in within. Having good energetic boundaries, good spiritual hygiene, doing your meditations right now. Just asking that your crown would be protected, but at the same time be open to receive what you need. Be open to receive, to cleanse and clear. I am seeing the whole middle pillar of light where we circulate the light through our bodies and our energetic bodies to receive cleansing. I am seeing Hekate at the crossroads. She is a lamp. But then her hellhounds, her whatever maybe you resonate with the snake or that there's different things, right? But this is a work of receiving your keys. That is where we still are. That's what her frequency is saying here. I'm hearing seek me and you'll find me. Okay, right? Isn't it? Hold on, guys. Spirit is, where's that book? Child, hold on. I think I can get it. Hold on. I'm going to read you something. Oh, Molly. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. She sits right up under my feet, y'all, and sometimes I catch her on her little snout. I feel so bad. She's like, I'm good. I'm pulling out my OG grimoire because I'm hearing seek me and you will find me. And that is us doing that communion and spiritual mental health hygiene, doing this for ourselves during this retrograde. It's so important. But I was going to read you this. Let me find it, Spirit. Let the goddess guide me right to it. There's all kinds of beautiful prayers and incantations. And this is an old one. If you know, you know. This is a very old one. If you've done any sabbats, sabbatical practices, goddess work, grimoire, casting work, if you know, you know. Is it this one? It's a call to the goddesses, and that Hekate frequency is wanting it to be read. Child, I gotta find it, though. Let me go to the table of contents. Spirit wants me to read this. Because I can't even remember. Oh, man. Y'all, it's been so long since I cracked. This is such a good book. This would be wild to really just sit down and flip through this after I got this book when I was a baby. Where are all the incantations, Spirit? I should do like an audio where I just walk you through this in case some might want to practice that. Okay, these are just rituals, but I want the invocations chapter. Child, where is it at? Oh, is this it? What is this one? Blood. Oh, found it. So this is OG. This is Doreen Valiente type. If you know, you know, Gerald Gardner stuff. But I'm going to read it to you. Listen, you can research if you want to find this and read different versions, or maybe write it down for yourself as an invocation or a prayer or an affirmation. It's called The Charge of the Goddess, and there's so many different forms of it, and they're beautiful. And, you know, your higher self, as you are always working in partnership with, and your spirit team will guide you to the one that you need. Or you can just write this one down. I'm just reading it right from the book. And this is by, her name is Anne Moura, Moura. It's a grimoire that I'm reading from, okay? Listen to the words of the Great Mother, she who of old was also called among the people Artemis, Astarte, Sarigwin or Carigwin, Hekate, Demeter, Danu, Ishtar, and many other names. Whenever you have need of anything, once in the month, it be better when the moon is full, then you shall assemble in a quiet place and adore the spirit of me, I who am the queen of all witcheries and crafts. And those who think to seek for me, know that thy seeking and yearning shall avail thee not unless thou knowest the mystery, that if what you seek within you, you find not within, you will never find without. For behold, I have been with you from the beginning, and I am that which is attained at the end of your desire. Wow. I haven't read that in forever, you guys. Oh my gosh. That's a good one. Okay, let's read. There are dozens of ways to embrace the art of divination, a practice used to seek guidance from the divine and part of a witch's toolkit for centuries. It is a beautiful practice that can help you see beyond what is immediately in front of you. Because let's be honest, when we're wanting to ask that Sagittarian frequency assist us right now, when we're cocooning, we're going within, we're doing hygiene, spiritual hygiene, we're doing this work. You know what I'm saying? Things can get murky because we're in Scorpio season. Black Moon Lilith's still in Scorpio till the end of the year. We've been working in that scorpionic frequency, yeah? So sometimes you need a little help to cut through the dark. Again, I'm seeing that Space Mountain. I'm seeing the eel in the bottom of the ocean. I'm hearing, it's electric. Do, 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 do. But that's Uranus frequency too. Isn't that so interesting? It's a beautiful practice that can help you see beyond what is immediately in front of you, Spirit is saying, because when we're in all these water trines, a lot of that can be fear and illusion, okay? It can show you what hidden dangers and gifts, it can show you hidden dangers and gifts, provide new ideas, and shut down old ones. Divination is a way to seek the advice of the powers that be while also showing hidden dangers and truths. If you've pulled divination, you're being asked to explore your ability to receive guidance from Earth and the divine. It doesn't have to be through cards. Sometimes that's in walking in nature. Or there's so many different modalities and methods, but you are also walking divination practice when you meditate, when you do a shamanic or a guided journey, when you write in your journal. You can do automatic writing. There's so many ways to go about that, right? Now is the time to go deeper into your practice, and you must learn to trust in your own ability to feel your way into the messages, as well as your ability to interpret them. This card also means that there is a need to take more time to reflect. My chest feels so tight. It's just a reminder to return to breath, right? It can be easy to get lost in the day-to-day without taking time to process everything you've been through. There's something too about not connecting that to people and external things so much. It's within. It's going back to reflect within. It's you with you, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to get lost in the day-to-day without taking time to process everything you've been through. Something as simple as pulling a single card every day, which I do almost every day, still after all these years, either in the morning or the evening, can help you make sense of events around you. It can help you to also see things you overlooked or consider something you would have never have otherwise. Oh, this is interesting. I'm going to read this for you guys. Other forms of divination to try: automatic writing, writing or drawing messages received from spirit realm while in an altered state of consciousness. Because just like ritual, sometimes the writing, well, sometimes you'll literally be writing. I've had that experience. I went through a phase of like writing during doing natal chart interpretations for people, and I would be taking notes and then I would just let myself receive from spirit. That was very fascinating. Bone reading, the use of animal bones, typically chicken, but others too. Nuts, acorns are very popular. Shells, seeds, or even beads to receive. Or like some people do like charms. Candle reading, gazing upon a flame of candle, looking for shapes, symbols, pictures, scenes, or figures. You can also take your candle and get a bowl of water and do wax pours. That's a really fascinating way to read candles. Dreams, deciphering messages by colors, people, structures, and symbols found within dreams, either by traditional dreaming or lucid dreaming. Dreaming is often considered the oldest form of divination in the world, of course, because you step out of the liminal time box. Y'all know I stay hydrating, okay? Flower and herb divination. This can be done in several different forms, including but not limited to drawing flowers that resonate with you, divining the characteristics, noting the day of the week you saw a flower, count the number of petals on the flower. So it's really interesting because when I do people's custom candles, sometimes they just let me create intuitively. And I'll do this thing sometimes where I'll just bring my box or my jars or whatever, and I'll just pick and I'll let my creativity flow, and then I'll take notes. And then when I go down to write the description of their candle and the message that comes through, I'm like, whoa, because the plants were partnering the whole time. It's very interesting. Numerology, one of the oldest forms of divination in the world, that uses the name and birth date of an individual to determine a set of numbers that hold meaning to a person's characteristics. Ways to succeed in life, or how the person learns, among other things. Maybe you can challenge yourself to try something you haven't done before, right? And be open to that. Palmistry, runes, scrying, right? With water or a mirror. Be careful with mirrors. You really need to be on your protection game when you mirror scry. Just if you don't know how to lock your mirrors or clean them, look, just be mindful of mirrors. Okay? Runes, of course, palmistry. So it is giving, though. I'm over here just minding my business. I'm over here returning to my alignment. I'm over here not having my cortisol levels jacked up. I'm over here just, it's like a back in the cut. I'm tucked back type of energy, and what is meant to connect with me will, and everything it was not meant for it. And so that's just what it is, really. Let's see if we have a tarot card. Spirit, ancestors, and team. Do we need to see a tarot card? I mean, it said divination. But it may be the case that you are connecting with your higher self. Make sure you're always setting your intentions and doing some sort of cleansing, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe if it's not a smudge, maybe it's an oil on your hands, maybe it's a sound bowl, whatever it is. Just be setting your intentions and speaking aloud what energy you intend to connect with, please. Okay? Please. All right. Righty. Ride or die. My righty weight. Okay. Thank you. Look at that. He don't ever miss. Listen, Spirit wants to pour back into you, okay? But it's in a way that we need to be connecting with ourselves. I'm getting off of this 6 of Pentacles is like, again, where you pour out your energy, who pulls off your energy? Is there equal reciprocity? I'm hearing metastasize again, okay? And what I'm getting is what we connect to has a tendency to multiply within us, in our mind, in our spirit, in our energetic bodies. Influences the whole perception of our day. That's an energetic exchange. I'm getting a lot of like, evaluate energetic exchange. Okay. And also, it's not really a healthy time. Just be mindful. You have to know your own energy, your path. Always trust your intuition first and foremost, right? But be mindful of what you give out to right now, because it's just a lot. And people are doing a lot, and karmic cycles continue to close and wrap up at a crazy rapid space, but we're kind of in a suspension place with all these water trines, right? So be mindful. It's like you're in a water chamber with Mercury and Sagittarius energy. I'm seeing it's like scanning around you, but you're very grounded on the bottom of this chamber. And it's almost like I see all these light frequencies, but it's very healing. It's very galactic. It makes sense. Mercury aims to connect, Sag, in this whole Antares realm, right? From Mercury retrograding from Sag to Scorpio. Maybe someone wants to read about the Antares placement, especially if you have prominent Scorpionic or Sag energy. What else is coming through? Yeah, so you're in this water vessel and you're suspended, but you're protected because things want to like tap the glass and they can't reconnect to your energetic fields. Yeah, this is like big energetic exchange. So just be mindful of what you tap into and what's tapping into you. What's on the bottom of the deck can be unexpected energy. I was literally talking about a water vessel. The Queen of Cups is surrounded by water. Some people always hypothesize, and you see different artists make their own interpretation. Is she like floating on an island? Is she in the middle of the water? Usually in her art, you'll see that she has some sort of piece of ground under her, which I like to see, that Uranus and Taurus helping us unexpectedly, bringing us to unexpected awareness of what we need to protect as far as emotions and intuition go. There's her crown. I like how she's kind of like almost unbothered. Look, she has spiritual protection here, spiritual protection here. There's that Mercury and Sag container. She's focused. Her crown is protected. Do you see that? And she's focused on what it is maybe that she's manifesting. Maybe this is a gem that is her spiritual wisdom. We could also imagine, like, what if this were a lantern? This year of Virgo energy, my light comes from within. The Queen of Cups, we always teach in the tarot, she's only second to the High Priestess when it comes to her intuitive knowing. But the power of her is in her heart. You see how this, maybe we could call it an alabaster box. You see how that protects? It's right where her heart is. Sorry, that's the dog in the background. Very interesting. The Queen of Cups, energy reciprocation. Be careful what affects your heart space and your energetic field and your emotional bodies right now in these water trines. Uranus and Taurus partnering with Mercury and Sagittarius, Mercury and Scorpio retrograde, wants to restore your energetic bodies, your emotional bodies. There's a lot to be brought down to your crown for you to receive that will replenish, cleanse you. Perhaps you spent a year really giving out. Your heart feels tapped. There's a lot of replenishment. But it is very important to use discernment and protect yourself. See victorious energy underneath the Queen of Cups. We love to see that. All right, you guys, what a beautiful energy. What a great message to come through. I love you guys. Take good care out there as we get into it with the Mercury retrograde. I look forward to connecting with you soon. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to go and be packaging and labeling and bottling like a wild woman. I also did get like so many apples when I went to the orchard yesterday because I want to have all their lovely apples to do the butters and all the things for the gifts and whatnot. So, yep. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. Please remember, please slow down. Please understand that time isn't always what we perceive it as. Your energy is important. Your spiritual hygiene, protect yourself, be going within, doing these practices, okay? It's one thing to sit here and talk about these things and look at these things, but to do them, be really mindful of who has access to your energy right now, okay? All right, I love you guys. I'm going to leave it here. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye.